Do you remember that you are source energy who has come forth into this magnificent physical body for the express purpose of exploring contrast, for the express purpose of putting more into your vortex, for the express purpose of setting a new vibrational tone, for the express purpose of you coming into alignment with your new vibrational tone? You are aware that the contrast that surrounds you is eternally there, and it is to your advantage, because without knowing what you don't want, you could not know what you do want. You are aware of that? You are aware that Mike can't hear?
No, I'm not. Thank you.
We thought you might want to know that. All is well with you, camera person? Are you aware that all is well with camera person? Do you recognize that the contrast is of enormous value to you because it helps you to focus, and that focusing is what the fun of deliberate life on planet Earth is really all about? That when you are focusing, when you are knowing what you don't want and focusing into vibrational alignment what you do want, you are aware that that is the molding of the clay. That is what creation really is all about. The molding of the clay, the recognizing of where you stand in this red hot minute in relationship to all that you've become. Do you think that in any moment in time that you could consciously, accurately, definitively describe everything that is in your vortex? And the reason that you cannot in any moment of time describe everything that's in your vortex is because you've been putting it there incrementally. In other words, it has been evolving. It has been becoming. Do you realize that as you've been chewing on the details of your contrasting physical life experience, that you have built a vibrational reality that your inner being has kept up with entry by entry? In other words, every time a rocket goes into that vortex, your inner being keeps up with the vibration of that rocket that you have fired off from your contrasting experience. Often, in fact, usually, in fact, always, from your physical standpoint, you don't keep up with it rocket by rocket by rocket by rocket by rocket. And that is the reason that the little ones around you are more joyful more often, because they do a better job of firing off a rocket and coming into alignment with it, and firing off a rocket and coming into alignment with it, because they are less bound by beliefs that are taught that hinder and prevent their vibrational alignment with what they are asking for. They still, the younger they are, believe in the possibilities of change. They still, the younger they are eager about the possibility of change. But a lot of times, as humans spend time in physical bodies, in their physical environment, and the variety helps you know what you don't want, so it helps you know what you do want. As you spend time with others without meaning to, because you spend so much time observing what is, you keep practicing the vibration of what is, which isn't up to speed with the vibration of what really is in the vortex. And the reason for that is because manifestation always lags behind. Manifestation is never right where the powerful leading edge energy is. Emotion can be right there where the powerful leading edge energy is. In other words, you can feel it. That's what passion and enthusiasm is. But manifestation always lags behind. So if you are, like most humans, you're focused upon what is. We playfully tell you you have what is-itis, because you are aware of what is. And as you are aware of what is because it is always expanded to what really is, vibrationally speaking, what is, if it's chronic in your vibration, holds you back from who you are. So without meaning to, as you move through time, you also practice a vibrational gap between what's going on in your vortex and what's going on in your practiced vibration. Another way of saying that is your beliefs are usually not keeping up with your desires. In fact, for most humans, not even close. And what's interesting about that is that everything that you feel about life, your zest for life or your depression about life, your eagerness or your lethargy, your clarity or your confusion, everything that you feel about life is about that vibrational difference between who you really are and who you have really become and who your inner being is and who all that you've asked for is and what you're allowing by virtue of your habit of thought. Habit of thought. Habit of thought. That's what a belief is. It's just a habit of thought. It's a thought you keep thinking. And the reason that you keep thinking, the thought that you keep thinking, is because law of attraction enables that. Law of attraction is your best friend. Law of attraction is the manager of the universe because law of attraction brings vibrations that are same together. That's why you can't set your radio dial on one button and hear what's being broadcast from another frequency. In other words, the frequencies have to match up. So if your frequency is set on things are hard, or I don't have enough, or there are problems around the world, or my family has this dysfunction or this one, if your frequency is set there by your chronic attention to it, and it's easy to understand why it would be, isn't it? Because it's hard not to notice what's right under your nose, and these days everything is under your nose. One way or another, you manage to see a lot of it. So as what's under your nose is what you practice often, then as time goes by, your practiced chronic most often vibration gets further and further apart from who you've become. The longer you live, the more robust your vortex is. And do you know what we mean by your vortex? Your vortex is that vibrational holding place. That's where the vibrational intent that radiates from you is received by the larger part of you and is held there, offering the signal of it, of the expansion, in ever readiness for you to find vibrational equivalence with it. So in a moment that you are feeling love, you're equivalent to your vortex. And the positive emotion lets you know that. In a moment that you're feeling anger, you're not even close to equivalent. Now, it doesn't mean you couldn't be with some change of some thoughts, but it means you probably won't be with some change of some thoughts in this moment right now, because you've practiced these thoughts so much that these thoughts are a little harder for you to get to and hold to. So what we want to help you to understand, as we call this gathering the art of allowing, the art of recognizing where I am vibrationally in relationship to the only thing that matters, which is my vortex, which is my expanded being, which is who I really am, which is the larger part of me, which is the inner being, which is the God within me, if you want to use that terminology. How can I be more of a vibrational match to that? And the answer is, you have to think your way there. But the problem with thinking your way there is that it's easier for you to think the thoughts that you've been thinking than it is for you to think the thoughts that you haven't been thinking. Because the thoughts that you've been thinking are active, and law of attraction saying, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. And when you say, don't give me any more of those thoughts, you just get more of those thoughts, because you're talking about those thoughts that you don't want any more of. In other words, you cannot push yourself away from what you do not want. So it's a gradual process, isn't it? First,